Of sevens in the book of Revelation, 7 seals, 7 trumpets, and 7 bowls. And there's a degree of elevation that I've not heard anyone talk about before. Number one, you've got, within the 7 seals, you've got the famous 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And the Lord just told me, well, where are the 4 horses? Where do horses gallop? Yeah, on the earth. In other words, the seals are kind of earthbound stuff. Until you get towards the end, you'll see that then the next events kind of spill into the last events. All right, so it's mainly earthbound. Seals are earth. 7 trumpets. Where do you blow the trumpets? Up in the sky. So you're just a little bit higher off the earth. Not too high, but you are higher off the earth, right? So we're talking about the sky or the atmosphere. Then the 7 bowls, we're told, are poured out by the angels. So the bowls take us up into the heavenly realms or even outer space. Meteors will start the tribulation. There's, I think, as clear as day. The evidence is clear. Revelation 8, the first trumpet, hail and fire thrown to the earth. Meteors then will close the tribulation, the first 3.5 years of tribulation. That's the 7th trumpet. Again, Revelation 11, you look at it, verse 9, it's great hail coming up from above. Then meteors close the great tribulation, the last 3.5 years of pain and sorrow on the earth. Revelation 16, great hail from heaven fell upon men, each hailstone about the weight of a talent. A talent. That's a Hebrew measurement. Should be about 75 pounds. Prelude in Revelation chapter 15, verse 1. John says he sees the future. And this is what God showed him. So this has to apply to some generation. We might be it. Then I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous. 7 angels having the 7 last plagues. Interesting choice of word, like the plagues of Egypt. You'll see some parallels here. For in them the wrath of God is complete. What is God saying? Number one, the world has not even seen the wrath of God. People say, oh, God is angry at us. No, He's not. He's gracious to us. He's very kind to us. It's the grace of God that we're alive today. Can you thank God? Number 2, the fear of God is something that we rarely hear talked about, but it's the principal thing that sets us free from law. The fear of God sets us free from religion, because without the fear of God, children and young people and adults would do whatever they like. We need to teach children the fear of God, because one day when they don't have parents, what is it that keeps them on the right track? The belief that there is a God that is always watching us, and that He will call us to account. There will be a day of reckoning. That fear of God is not a terrible fear that makes you a coward, but it's a holy fear that makes you live for Him. And then you don't need to follow, rules and laws and commandments, because it's not the rule that makes you do it, it's your relationship with God. Just like you should fear displeasing your parents. Hopefully your parents are wonderful, good people, but there should be a healthy fear of your parents. You don't just treat your parents or talk to your parents like any stranger. Amen? Okay. So this is a New Testament concept. It's not just Old Testament. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 17. Fear God, honor the king. Revelation 14, verse 7. Fear God. Everyone say, fear God. And give glory to Him, for the hour of His judgment has come, and worship Him who made heaven and earth, the sea, and the springs of water. And creationists love that verse because it says, even at the end time, how important creation science is. Worship Him who made it. We didn't just come out of the Big Bang. Worship Him who created everything. Amen? Something came out of nothing, takes a lot of faith to believe. Something came out of someone intelligent, takes a lot less faith, much more logical to believe. Let's get into the bowls. First bowl, Revelation 16, starting at verse 1. Then I heard a loud voice from the temple saying to the 7 angels, go and pour out the bowls, or the vials in some other translations, of the wrath of God on the earth. Verse 2, so the first went and poured out his bowl upon the earth, and a foul and loathsome sore came upon the men who had the mark of the beast and those who worship his image. The Antichrist was introduced clearly at the mid-tribulation, Revelation 13. He introduces the system of the mark of the beast. There's been a lot of speculation about it. I'm not sure what it is. All I know is, don't take it. Once you know what it is, don't take it, because it precludes salvation. But let me propose to you, or give you some theories that prophecy teachers have given. The mark of the beast. The old theory was the barcode, because the left bar, center bar, right bar, the two bars are generally designated as 6, so, it's like a 666. Interesting theory, but very unlikely. I never really subscribed to it. Why would it prohibit salvation? Why would using this kind of code prohibit salvation? Of course, every product now has it. There's a medical theory or political theory that says maybe it's the RFID chips. There are chips now that are so small, they can be inserted under your skin, and they can track you. Maybe they can contain your medical history. Maybe it can contain your credit card details. Who knows, right? But this is one of the theories, and it's not so far-fetched because there are already people implanted with chips. I don't know what for, but my dog has one, and a lot of dogs in Australia has one. And then they go into a computer registry in Australia, and one time my dog was lost, and guess what? They found us because of the RFID chip. So, maybe with terrorism, maybe with, they always sell it to us as it's good for us. Maybe it starts out with kids in school in case they get kidnapped or terrorized, got to put it in the kids, on and on. Who knows? Something will come to scare people enough to take something that God says, do not take this. I'm still a little bit skeptical about this because, again, the question is, why would taking this prevent you from being saved? So there's another theory. This is the conspiracy theory. And quite a lot of Christians are looking into this. This man is a doctor, a surgeon, Roger Leir. His job is to remove alien implants. There are people who claim to have had alien abductions. Then they find out that there's something under their skin. They're a bit uncomfortable or it's bugging them. They go to doctors like him. He finds them and he does all sorts of tests on these things. I mean, he's found that the substance that these implants are made of are harder than anything that is normally made. It emits a signal that's strong. They've even put it under some kind of very powerful telescope, and they say that these implants are made of carbon nanotubes and can process information 300 times the speed of our fastest computer chips. Well, how did it get under their skin? Something is happening. Now, this is interesting to me, not because the conspiracy bit, but because now we're talking about something alien, something genetic. So see, if you believe in aliens instead of God, if you believe aliens created you instead of God created you, that will affect your salvation. Absolutely. And this is absolute blind faith to believe that, some rock from outer space crashed into the moon and crashed into the earth and then, deposited the primordial bits of life. I mean, that's just fairy tale. This is all made up by National Geographic and graphic artists, and it's just all pictures. There's absolutely no evidence for that. But people actually believe that. So what is it? It's a religious belief. It's a faith. If you believe something like that and you believe something so much, the devil will come and impersonate an alien for you, then taking something from him may connote your allegiance to him. Maybe. Another theory is some people think that these chips, why the aliens putting into people, maybe that it's actually changing the genetic code. Maybe they're experimenting genetically like in the days of the Nephilim, trying to create something. Maybe they'll promise you, if you take this chip, you'll be like God. Take this chip, you'll live longer, you'll have good health. Oh, a lot of people would take that. Rather than believing Jesus is the healer, right? Rather than following the plan of God, including his dietary plan that would help you live longer, right? You forget all that and say, oh no, I want to go for something, super technology. Another theory, which I think is very plausible, is the religious theory that the mark of the beast is a symbol of allegiance. And you can see that jihadis often wear headbands and patches on their right arm and right hand. They're very fixated about the right hand and right arm. When you walk into a mosque, you got to supposedly put your right foot in first. And when you hand things over to a Muslim, it must be with your right hand, not with your left. So there's something there, and you can see picture after picture that these are marks of a spiritual allegiance. Would it preclude you? If you say, I'm a terrorist, I'm going to kill all Jews and Christians, would that preclude you from being saved? Yeah, I think now we're in warm water. This is hot territory now. This is looking more like what I think it could be. But am I definitive? Am I dogmatic? I'm not. I'm just suggesting to you, you make up your own mind. Others have noticed that the supposedly Greek symbols for 666 actually look like the Bismillah, which is the, the incantation that they make to Allah. And then they have their own cross. It's actually two swords. Very typical symbol that they wear on their foreheads and on their right hand or right arm. And that's their symbol of jihad. So if you took that kind of mark, would that preclude you from being saved forever? Quite possibly. All right, so let me pick up on a couple of scriptures about this mark. Revelation 13 is the first place where it mentions it. 16 says, He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand. Interesting. Every detail in the Bible is meant to tell you something. There's one group of people in the world that are fixated about the right hand. Or on their foreheads. And that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And there's only one group of people in the world who cannot buy or sell, especially the most important commodity, food, without a symbol, halal. So it might not be that, but there's already something like that. Revelation 14 also gives us a little bit more. An angel, the third angel, followed them, saying with a loud voice. Oh, that means pay attention. He's screaming this out. He says, I won't scream it. If anyone worships the beast and his image and receives his mark on his forehead or on his hand, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God. Well, that's good news. If I don't take the mark, I will not drink of the wine of the wrath of God. That's good. Which is poured out full strength into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. The smoke of their torment ascends forever and ever. I don't know how people believe hell is not forever. It says forever and ever. And they have no rest, day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark